Why this topic?
So humans have a very unique evolutionary ability to perceive music and rhythm. This includes recognizing beats per minute and synchronizing it for use in things like musical compositions. But this is not common across all species or non-human mammals. Though it's not understood why humans have this ability. How did it come to be in our species? So we wanted to find if we could better understand this behavior in animals to understand it better within ourselves.
What was your hypothesis?
So one of our hypotheses was that a factor in the optimal tempo was that the brain and its time constant. We named this our brain-caused theory. So optimal tempo means that's the beat where recognition and synchronization is most evident, and then the time constant being how we perceive time. For us humans, it's related to how we talk and hold a conversation. It's something that stimulates multiple parts of our brain because you need it for listening, auditory sensations, comprehension, an emotional response, and then responding back. So this is a rhythm, and it's how our brains react. So we predict that in rats, beat synchronization would be possible with the right auditory stimuli, and that, like us, they also have an optimal tempo.
How were you able to tell if beat synchronization was occurring?
So we would play music through a wireless miniature accelerometer placed on top of their heads, and then with that we could then measure the rat's head movements.
What music did you play?
So our song of choice was Sonata for two pianos in D major by Mozart, and we played that at 4 different tempos. This was 99 beats per minute, 132 beats per minute, 264 BPM, and 528 BPM. So these are all played at different percentages of speed, so 132 being the 100% regular tempo, while 99 being 75% slower, 264 being 200% faster, and 528 being 400% faster.
What happened when the rats heard the music?
So we found that their head movements were synced with the beat of the music presented. The movements, while happening at both quadrupedal and bipedal states, so when they were on all fours, and it happened while they were in a bipedal state up on 2 legs, but it was more evident when they were standing in a bipedal state. Of the 4 tempos, the original tune at 132 beats per minute had the most evident head movements, and they occurred while the tempo tapered off, but they were at a reduced response. So this is very similar to the human trials that we conducted. When humans listened to music, their heads also moved at varying tempos, while the most evident tempo being that original tempo, 132 beats per minute, with a reduction over time and also change in tempo. So the faster it went, there was less movement, but it was still there. So this data supported our hypothesis of this brain-caused theory. So, like humans, rats appear to have an innate beat synchronization.
Are there any differences between the way that rats and humans react to music?
Yes, there are. So humans are able to show predictive beat synchronization. So that is knowing prior to a tempo change that it will happen, the ability to recognize that. So in humans, it's partially innate because we can see it's learned as well, as we see with the many people that create music for consumption. But rats and non-human mammals are more reactive. They hear the music and then they react to it. They hear the tempo change and they react to it. They do not know when a beat change will occur, and then they change their behavior accordingly when it happens.
How can we use this to understand human evolution in music?
So, as humans are both reactive and predictive when it comes to music, in seeing that, rats can also have a response through head music. We believe that this spontaneous synchronization is a precursor to being able to expect beat changes. So while it's not enough to say that this is the exact moment that this evolutionary change can happen, it's necessary. So there was probably a point where humans became reactive to sounds such as beat changes in music. through creating music, and eventually it became an evolutionary change as part of our species.
Are there any other future studies you suggest?
I think it would be beneficial to look into if rats could predict these changes, and potentially other non-human mammals as well. While it isn't something that we observed here, it also wasn't what we were testing for, but I think it would definitely open up our eyes to what might have happened on this evolutionary path. I think something else would be experiments into the reactivity of beat synchronization in other non-human mammals, maybe ones that we are more related to genetically, and I think all of this could help us possibly decipher our origins in music and dance.